Good morning, one and all. As the saying goes, great stories have humble beginnings. This is one such story of a humble gentleman who is an economics graduate from University of Madras and Masters in Marketing Management from Jawaharlal Bajaj Institute of Management Sciences. Later, he was associated with sales, publishing and brand management divisions of Times of India Group. With a zeal to perform and ability to accept new responsibilities, he was appointed the Chief Executive Officer of Internet Division of Times of India Group. Later, he became the Director of the Times of India Group. He is credited with TOI Delhi and Economics Times Kolkata to attain numero uno status in the respective cities. He also presides as as a Director of Times School of Management and Times Center for Media Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to welcome the first speaker of the day, Mr. R.Sundar, Director, the Times of India Group, to grace the podium and engage the audience. Thank you,
sir. Did you use the mic, Chandra?
There's a mic there.
No, did you use it?
No, not yet.
Because I feel comfortable without a mic. Okay, let me know if I'm audible. Otherwise, I'll use that mic again.
Actually, there's a mic at the podium.
Okay. That's very good. So, this is how it goes. Okay, I'm here escorting my wife because she teaches at, I'm sure all of you know, R.Sundar. She's my wife, and so I'm tagging along. So it's 1+1 offer for you guys, right? And I did this session about 3 years back, but that was a media session which I'm quite keen to take it forward this afternoon with you guys. But today I think Paulomi, right? Who wrote to me? Paulomi. Okay. She wrote to me and suddenly said that I have to come to the podium and talk to you guys on, and she gave me a topic. So last night I put it together. I don't have a PPT, but I'm going to read it out to you. Okay, and she said, how do large organizations, how do mammoth business perhaps keep reinventing? So I'm saying the word mammoth is absolutely in sync with Times of India, because Times of India is a very mammoth organization. So what I'm going to do is in the next 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I'm going to really try and run you through my experiences with TOI, what it was and what it is today. So 25 years we celebrated the sesquicentennial year, which is the 150th year of the Times of India. Very, what should I say, heritage brand, but restricted primarily to Bombay, and we used to have an all India circulation of about 5 lakh copies. So, we began understanding and we began asking ourselves whether we want to be a heritage small-time brand or whether we want to reinvent ourselves to be a media conglomerate. So I'm saying, we took a few decisions at that point of time, and I was very fortunate to be part of that organization at that point of time, and really speaking today, I can tell you each and every strategy has paid off and paid off very well. So what did we do? When we started 1988 and we had that 150th year celebration, we used to follow a strategy known as BEDUM, B-E-D-U-M, which really stood for Broadsheet English Daily Urban Moninger. So that's what it really stood for. But when we started examining, did we, were we there in all metros? Were we saturated in all metros? The point was, we were not there. We were primarily concentrating in Bombay. We had some presence in Delhi, some presence in Ahmedabad, and that's about it. So, and we, asked ourselves, and we started really questioning our beliefs whether we should follow the BEDUM strategy or whether we should really relook at that strategy. Today, I think, TOI is really a very large, conglomerate, and, we are about the world's #1 newspaper, from a mere 5 lakh copies in TOI 25 years back. Today we are a world's #1 English daily. So a lot of Americans, lot of British, lot of Americans, when we speak to them, they feel, what is it, how is English, how is India such a large English speaking country, and how is it that they can pride themselves with #1 status. But that's the case, and I think, who's who of India speaks English. So we said, let's try and see if we can take it further. And here's what we did. So we had 3 guiding principles. What really makes a newspaper tick? Any answers? What really makes a newspaper tick? Connect with?
the readers.
Very good. Then? Content, very good. Then? Authentic, very good. Format? Advertisements. Perfect. I think, you said it all. So I'm saying, the reader is the most important, target group we have. He is the central, we call him the CEO of a brand. If he is not there, it's like a consumer. If he is not there, we are out of business. So we do everything to make sure that the reader is back with us. And somewhere we realized that, the reader is such a very important animal, but, the business generation actually comes from advertisements. So we have to map the content, we have to aggregate the readers, and we have to go and sell it to the advertisers. So really the 3 guiding principles for us is reader, editorial content, perhaps circulation and advertising. So just imagine the reader to be in center in all these forces, acting in continuous orbits. It has to work in tandem. So, little bit about the editorial aspect of the Times of India. In today's world, especially when television breaks the news, what is the role of a newspaper? Sorry? Elaborate, okay. Masses informed, yes.
Analysis and opinions.
Analysis and opinion. Can you develop that a little more?
Different perspectives.
Yes. I think a reader is really getting empowered with different perspective. What television bangs is it gives you a, Telangana formed or not formed, it gives you the news. But what we try and provide is perhaps the different point of view. We call it democratic federalism. So we have many PowerPoints. We never have an agenda. As an organization, Times of India doesn't have an agenda, political or otherwise. We don't have a business agenda. I'm saying we want to make sure that the editorial provides the right perspective or perhaps multi-perspective to the reader so that he makes his own choice. In a democracy, each one of you are empowered to make your choice. So I am perhaps the touchstone providing you, different perspectives. And sometimes it's so blatantly contradictory. There is one news and there is another news by Swaminathan Iyer which is completely contradictory. But that's our role. The other thing we also did was we used to run huge, format editorials, which we tried to curtail it and condense it and make it shorter. Whatever we can say in, let's say, 400 words or 300 words is what is our guiding principle for editorial, because people just don't have the time. How many of you read the newspaper? Oh, good, very good, because that's you're in college. And I'm sure, you want to read the Economic Times because, somewhere it takes you ahead. But today, I think a day has come when people just don't have the time. Just don't have the time. So, and the entire art of our survival is dependent on that 20 minutes of your time. And that thereafter the newspaper is a waste, it goes to Raddi. So if you don't look at a newspaper in the morning, chances are you're never going to see that newspaper again. Chances are never. even when you read the newspaper, if you look at the reading habits, you just flip through. And what catches your attention, you spend that extra 10 minutes. How many of you read the newspaper from behind? Oh, good, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. In fact, the theory is that people start reading it from the front, but people who love sports, and traditionally sports is relegated towards the later half of the newspaper, people who love sports perhaps read the newspaper from behind. So people who raised your hand, do you love sports, and that's the reason why you do it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So our theory gets further, reconfirmed. So like I said, reader is really the key important person. Really the key important person. So the second bullet of the guiding principle is what we call a right-of way of circulation. Can you imagine the number of copies we distribute today? Sorry? Just take a wild guess. This is not an exam. 30 lakhs, okay? 3 million is 30 lakhs, yeah. 70 lakhs. Okay, you're close to it. We circulate 8.5 million every day. Every day. And the copies reach, your doorsteps by about 5:30 if it's Calcutta, 6:30 if it's Hyderabad, Chennai. Chennai is an early market like Calcutta, so we try and deliver the copies to them earlier. Bombay, we deliver it only at 7 because, people do have late night and come back and their reading patterns, so we really understood the reading patterns and accordingly distribute. So this entire 85 lakh copies gets distributed in that 1 hour window in the morning. So they do a fabulous job. I don't see there is any other parallel or any other industry which does this. Any suggestions? Anybody thinks there is another industry? Yeah, Dabbawala is the closest example. Any other examples? Yeah, milk. Milk is a good example. Any others? But I don't think milk or a Dabbawala does the enormity of operation, and 95% of our copy is home delivered. So Dabbawala does a small time operation, but they do a turnaround, they do a fantastic job. Like us, he has a timeline to guide by. Milk today, you have a lot more vending machines, you have sachets, you have packets, you can pick it up anytime. In the Western world, newspapers, by and large, not home delivered, by and large. And you pay a price for home delivery. In USA, for example, you come and throw it on your lawn and go away, but chances are you will not read it. So, and that habit is declining. You will see a lot more people going and picking up a newspaper. So I'm saying somewhere distribution is so critical to us, so critical to us. If the paper doesn't get distributed within that window, my entire revenue for the day is lost. Any idea what is my revenue per day? One person, just tell me aloud. 32 million. Okay. One more guess. Okay, let me answer. Let me answer that. Our revenue is 5,000 crores. Now you can back calculate. Advertising is the prime, 95% component is advertising, 5% is the circulation component. So, having said 5,000 and having said advertising, I'm saying The reason why we are successful is because we are able to generate advertising. And advertisers demand performance, really demand performance. You can't, expect them to give you one crore of advertising revenue and be happy about it. You have to make sure that, you work towards providing him a response. So if you ask my, designation, I'm director response. I'm supposed to be providing him response. And we have many strategies by which we provide response. Because internet has come and taught us that it's all about performance. Earlier we were blissful saying that you carry an ad, it should work. If it doesn't work, bad luck. You blame it on your creative or creative agency. But today we are equally partnering with advertisers. So our third guiding principle is partnership with advertisers. So I need to be able to go and partner with, let's say, Maruti. I need to go and partner with Madhura Garments. So my job is constantly to see how I can partner, how I can provide the response, how I can make it work for you. And soon a time will come, if it doesn't work to the level of satisfaction, we may say we'll give you money back. That is performance marketing, and somewhere I think internet has taught us. My stint in the internet company, 6 years, really taught me that you can't take the advertisers for a ride. You have to make sure that you come back with a very, very strong performance which the advertisers like. We've done, so typically we are responsible for creating products. Really responsible for creating products. There was a category, retail category, which we never used to get in terms of advertising. So we created a product which is a city-centric supplement like the Delhi Times, Bombay Times, Hyderabad Times, Chennai Times, which is a city-centric focus. A reader definitely wants to understand, definitely wants to know what kind of sale is going on. The women love it, I can tell you. Women love it. In fact, if there is a husband and wife and Times of India goes, the husband picks the TOI and the wife picks up the Delhi Times. They love it because somewhere shopping is in their DNA. Not that men are not shopping, but I'm saying somewhere it is. So you created a product keeping in mind the interest. Otherwise the interest levels keep declining, really keep declining. So that's only one example. I can give you 3-4 more examples looking at what interest group you belong to. So our job is to constantly look at how you create a geography, how you create a product, and how you keep the advertisers happy, at the same time providing a reader something to eschew. So in order to take these three to the upper strata, believe you me, when we started, we discussed about 5 lakh copies. So, in order to take it forward, what is the one thing which we had to do? We had to completely change ourselves, completely reinvent ourselves. We had to modify the bedroom concept. We had to invest very heavily in high-speed machines. Today you have machines which are capable of printing about 2 lakh copies in an hour, all color. And everything computerized, no manual intervention. You want to change a story, you can do it on the computer. So you have those massive machines being controlled by 4 people or 5 people. I'm saying, so we had to really invest a hell of a lot of money. We also had to invest a lot of money to make sure that the copies reach the public. So we had to engage in a vendor distribution system. So it's not ours. The vendor distribution system is not ours. It is actually a third party. But it works in such fantastic synchronization. That is one channel which perhaps distributes your competing products at the same time. And they do it very efficiently, very, very efficiently. My request to you is when you take a break and you want to go back home, try and spend 2 hours early in the morning, and it's really fascinating, because you guys, Most of you will be in marketing, some of you will be in finance. I'm saying the world journey, you really need to know how this product, reaches the public. Otherwise, we are very happy in the morning, you wake up, have your cup of tea or coffee and pick up your newspaper and read. But if you just go 2 hours backwards, you'll understand how it is done. So we had to invest in a third-party system and make sure that the family works with you to distribute your product. But in so doing, you are also encouraging competition, because if you make a well-oiled machine for distribution, it's going to work well for the competition as well. But we said we couldn't care less because we wanted to have an agenda and we went forward. While we did investments, what are our strategy? What it is in terms of strategy we rolled out? Like I said, we repackaged editorial, completely repackaged. And we moved away from the classical English to more an Indian English. Anybody from Bombay? Okay. Would you know the meaning of sobo? Okay. So I'm saying the words like sobo, which were being used by public, we brought into the paper. That's only to give you one example. So I'm saying going forward, you've created the youth of today has created a SMS language. So I'm saying in order to connect faster with you, I should perhaps be replicating those aids. There was a time when they used to say, read the Times of India to qualify for IAS. That's the kind of English we were. And we moved away to make it more contemporary, more faster, more easier for you to assimilate. But the biggest strategy which we rolled out was invitation pricing. The biggest strategy. Newspaper, the cost of producing a newspaper today, let's say in Bombay, which is typically a 60-page issue, will cost you no less than about $25. Okay? But $25, nobody is going to read it, buy it, they're just not going to afford it. So we made the price. In Bombay, the price is still high because lack of too much competition. But in Delhi, we dropped it to 1.5 rupees. And even till today, it's about 2.5 rupees. Where rupee value is diminished thanks to dollar, I'm saying nothing is available in 2.5 rupees. I suppose all of you know the recent challenge. What is available? What is the minimum price to eat? And I'm saying nothing is really available. How much does a cigarette cost? Lowest, cheapest cigarette? Any smokers? No, nobody is putting up their hand. So I'm saying, you don't even get a chai, you don't get anything in 2.5 rupees, but we said we should make it available. As we speak today, we have launched Navbara Times in Lucknow. Just take a wild guess, what is the cover price for Navbara Times Lucknow? Sorry. One more. We are giving it to the reader for 50 rupees for 6 months. That's the cover price. So, we want to penetrate that market and make sure that we make up that revenue in advertising. So we are going to create an advertising centric market, and we are going to make sure that the reader actually picks it up. But that's about it. If you think that's the end of story, I think you're mistaken, because I have to make him read. You can buy the newspaper for 50 rupees. You're saying it's coming cheap. You can just buy it, but the trick is to make him read. If he doesn't even flip through the paper, then I can't promise an advertiser visibility. How many of you read the Times of India? Not bad. Very good. How many of you read Hindu? Is it because you are from South? So that's a big battle we have. That's really a big battle. So I'm saying, we have to make sure that we launch our products and make it successful in those terrains or regions. So I'm happy to see there are more number of readers of Hindu than TITUR. Maybe in the evening I'll have a session with you guys. So this process of invitation prize has not been emulated by anybody. We had a huge resistance from the hawker because typically a hawker earns 25% revenue from your cover price. So if the newspaper is 4 rupees, he earns 1 rupee. So if I'm selling that product at 1 rupee or 1 rupee 50 paise, the reader said, the hawker said, I'm not going to lift your copy. But we worked away with the hawkers. So today the hawkers are happy, the readers are happy, and we are happy. And the advertisers are happy. So I'm saying all the constituents are reasonably happy. We also, like I said, we had city-centric. I'm saying the larger other strategy which we launched was something known as brand capital or private treaty. We wanted to be able to lock in with our advertisers for a slightly longer period, elongated period. Slightly longer period, because for me to go and sell to him, my cost of sales was going up tremendously. So earlier it used to be campaign by campaign. There is a campaign of Volvo and we had to go sit with them. So today I'm saying I will do a longer 5-year deal, 10-year deal. But we did it with a twist. And the twist is that you don't have to pay me cash, you can swap it for equity. So today we have one of the finest equity managers, from you name it, the kind of private equity firms. So what we are really doing is, if you're a private limited company and you have shares in the market, you go and swap those shares and don't give me cash. So it becomes easier for him, and he, kind of comes into a relationship. If you want to pay cash, no problem. If you want to swap a property, let's say real estate property, no problem at all. Because many of the property clients are not equity led. So we said, okay, no problem, we will do with a property swap. So we went out of the way to customize and lock in customers with us for a slightly longer period of time. Somebody is looking at the watch, so it looks like I'm running out of time. So I can follow me, I can cut it short. Okay, another few minutes maybe, and then we can get in the next speaker. So I'm saying today, where we started, we used to be a 100 crore company. Today we are a 5,000 crore company. 5 lakh circulation. Today we are 85 lakh circulation. So he's standing in line so that I vacate my place. Okay, I got the hint. So I'm saying we have been successful, and we not only reinvented ourselves in terms of product, but we saw the onset of television coming in a big way. Today television industry has overtaken the newspaper industry. Really speaking, I'm saying in the next 3 years they will be 3 times as large as the newspaper industry. So we said we can't be only a newspaper company. So today we have Radio Mirchi, which is a radio company, which is #1 brand. We have Times Now, we have ET Now, we have Zoom, we have Movie Now. The only slot where we are vacant is the general entertainment category, GEC category, which makes the mega bucks. But very soon we will be there. And we are in at least 40 locations in India, so not restricted to metro. We are not restricted to English. We are today in Marathi, Kannada, like I said, UP we have launched Nabara Times again. Then we have launched Bengali. Very soon we are going to roll out Tamil newspaper in the Chennai market. So we have moved away from our platform of Podium, and somewhere we have been very, very successful. And truly I think today Times of India as an organization is a multimedia company. We are very strong in internet. We are very strong in the outdoor practices. We are very strong in the events marketing. I wouldn't say very strong in the events marketing, but we have made a foray into the events marketing. I don't know if you guys saw Toy Fair. Toy Fair was a 100 crore event, one event. So I'm saying we are really getting into all the channels of where a media can be. So I'm looking forward to the afternoon session where I can perhaps share a little more in detail. And I've really enjoyed my session with you guys, but he is standing on my head, so I have to... Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. You want to ask me any question, we can do it. Yeah, sure. I got so many hands, I never... Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Ujjwal. There was a Crest edition launched by Times of India some 2 years back,
Good.
which is about to stop now. So,
Which is stopped.
yeah. So I want to ask this question. What was the reason why it stopped? Was it about the content, the kind of people that you were trying to target but they were not reading that Crest edition? And like Hindu does that very beautifully. I understand that they do it in very few cities, but they do it very well. So could you have continued doing that in few cities? And I mean,
No, it's a very good question. In fact, it's before your time. I was in charge of a publication known as Independent, and we launched it and we closed it down. What we realized is, a newspaper with very good content without advertising doesn't sell. Really, reader, there are a handful of reader who's interested in picking it up and reading, but they are not the core target group. So I'm saying, I don't want to be in the economics book publishing industry. I'm not there. If I want to be there, I would perhaps launch a new division. Incidentally, we have a book division also. So we retried our experiment of Independent with Crest. Very high-end paper, very, very high-end paper. And there's no viability. We are a business community. At the end of the day, you need to be bottom line driven. You really need to understand whether it supports a top line, it really supports a brand initiative, does it support any other function of the organization. Femina, for example, is not a successful brand in terms of making bottom line, but in terms of imaging, it's a very successful brand. And you have Femina, Miss India, it's even larger. So you need to understand what is the purpose of the brand. You guys are students of brand and brand marketing. You need to really understand the position. A lot of people, miss Crest. Okay, really miss Crest. But it's like reading economics in a classroom. Like, I don't want to criticize Hindu. I think they do a fantastic job. I don't know how they do it. But, somewhere, those, readership, in my view, will disappear. Will really disappear. Given the fact that you are reading it only for 20 minutes. Now 20 minutes is an kind of average, basis. There are people like my father used to read it for 2 hours, 3 hours, right? But they are not at the core group of readers. Any marketing effort, you need to understand what is your core intent, right? And we can keep supporting it. We could have taken a decision saying that we will support it and keep draining money. But we said, we don't want to be in that false impression that we are doing some societal good. We don't want to be in that. We are not really here to police people. We are not here to educate people. We are here only to disseminate news and views. So we need to understand our position exceedingly clear. So it's a very sad day. I signed that note closing it down. So, sorry, you had a question.
Due to paucity of time, we can't take questions now. You can ask questions in the afternoon session.
So he is really the timekeeper. Good. Thank you, Chandra. You're doing a very good job.
On behalf of I Am Shillong Fraternity, I would like to thank Sundar sir for having a very insightful and knowledgeable session in the Sunday morning. Thank you, sir. And we would be waiting for the conclave in the afternoon.